Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is the inaugural episode of Feelings in Hallways. This is the DC CW series, I guess, overview, as you can say, that kind of thing. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm taking a look at all the DC CW shows that have aired this week and just kind of talking about them. I'm not recapping them. I'm just going to review them pretty much, and I'm not holding out too much hope for this one, to tell you the truth, but we'll see where it goes. So before I actually start, I'm going to get some business out of the way. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down in the comment section, tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism, some feedback, if you will. Also, if you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below. If you already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will unclick it. You can go into the bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. I also have my schedule up on suspendedfanimation.com. It's also mirrored on my Facebook page. I have a Twitter. I have an Instagram. I also have a sorry, Pepper just did something weird over in the corner of my eye. I also have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. That will be set up at the end of this year. So, man, I need a drink for that one, definitely. Let's get started, shall we? Those of you who waited this long for it, spoiler alert, there will be spoilers. This is a spoiler area. I'm not going to be doing spoiler-free stuff. It's CW shows. You can get them for free. If you go to the CW app, you can watch all of them for free. You do not need to have a cable provider or anything like that because most of the stuff's over the air anyway. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. So, and that's right. Thank you, Penn. You even reminded me, and I forgot about it. There's also a Facebook group that's out there that I've started where you guys can come in and post stuff and talk amongst yourselves, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Wow, and you're getting snow this weekend too, huh? Or this tonight is what you said, Viking Bitch. Wow. Yeah. I'm not. Yes, I am on the twits. As Movie Fanobi says. So let's, I'm just going to take them in order that they came on. Let's do Batwoman first. So Batwoman, it's season 1, episode 1. And this is the inaugural episode. Kate Kane, played by Ruby Rose. And I'm just going to come out and say it flat out right now. I don't like her as an actress. I just don't. I really don't. And again, she was the flattest character out of everybody in here. It was like, oh my God. And sorry about the kids screaming. There are little demons that are outside my fucking window here. And so that's what you're going to hear is out there is bloody screaming. Yes. Yeah. The only thing I liked about Batwoman, and I'll say this, was Alice. Alice is awesome. She's an awesome character. The actress playing her is actually acting in a different show altogether. So yeah, exactly. Keith Hamilton, get off my lawn, you damn kids. So I wish I could turn on the sprinklers. So yeah, the Alice is awesome in this. Alice, and they let it slip in the very first episode that Alice is actually Kate's sister, who they all thought was dead. And she is out for revenge against her father because, she grew up alone. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, okay, you know who your father is, you know who your sister is, you know your mom's dead. Did you try and contact your dad at all at any point in time to say, hey, I'm still alive? What's going on? Hopefully this gets cleared up in the writing. I'm hoping that's the case. Her father, by the way, is also, so It's supposed to be in Gotham City 3 years after Batman has disappeared. So has Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne has disappeared. Kate Kane is supposed to be Bruce Wayne's cousin. Uh, and yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's okay that they're setting it up this way, but quite honestly, they name drop Bruce Wayne at the drop of a hat. It's gotten to the point where I'm almost getting ready to start a drinking game. As every time someone names a Wayne or we get Wayne Industries shown or something like that, you take a drink. You will be drunk before the third commercial break. That's a lot of commercial breaks anyway, as it is. So yes, you will be pretty drunk by the third commercial break. So Kate ends up she's out training because her daddy supposedly doesn't love her enough to make her a part of his security team called the Crow Security. So Crow Security is supposed to be protecting all of Gotham, the Gothamites, and all this stuff. There are bat signals that are on, 3 bat signals that have been on for these 3 years, and there's a ceremony going on where they're going to turn off the lights. They're going to turn off the spotlights to say we don't need Batman anymore. We've now got Crow Industries, and Alice, of course, disrupts that and kidnaps Kate's former girlfriend, and who works for Crow. Yes, Rachel Scarston is fucking awesome. That's all I can say. Um, Kate comes back, of course, because she gets a phone call that her former lover has been taken, and goes to go find her, and of course finds her and finds Alice and everything. And we find out that the reason why Alice won't kill her or hurt her is because she's after Daddy and that she's her sister. Yeah. It's kind of a weak premise, but all right, I'm going to roll with it anyway. Alice is a good character. It's a good, I mean, she's almost as good as she's a good Joker, if you will. Now, this is supposed to be taking place in the Arrowverse. I don't know which world it's supposed to be in because, of course, we have multiple worlds. And, we know that there's a Joker, that there is a Joker in this world. Is this the Arrowverse? Is it that Earth, or is it another? I'm thinking it's another Earth. I'm pretty sure it's another Earth. So we're going to find out in the Crisis crossover anyway. So of course she finds Bruce Wayne's other Batcave in Wayne Industries, Wayne Tower, and she finds it fairly easily. She's like, "Oh, hey, this thing was out of place on the mantle. Let's move it over there and then turn it." And she turns it. It opens up, and she goes in, and the son of Lucius Fox is there to help her, and he gears her up and all of that. And yeah, Dennis, there's a mystery truck driving around that says Penn's Best on the side, but what's in there? What's in the truck? What's in the truck? What's the fucking truck? I don't know. Caleb says, I thought they'd shoehorn the whole lesbian thing down our throats, but I think that was tastefully done. Yeah, Caleb. So there isn't any kind of hidden agenda. There isn't any overt political shit or anything like that that's going in there that all the, incels have been talking about, and all the, the He-Man Woman Haters clubs that are out there that have been talking about and all that shit. Just Ruby Rose is a horrible actress. That's all it is. She is the worst thing out of the whole thing. That and her father. That guy has been in tons of movies and things like that and TV shows. I can't remember his name now at this point, but he's a shitty actor as well. So they're almost on par. When they're in the same room together, it's vying for who is the shittier actor in that scene. And then Rachel Scarston comes in and goes, "Here's how you're supposed to act, motherfuckers." And I mean, it does it effortlessly to the point where you're like, are you in the same place, the same soundstage? Is she watching what you're doing, or is she just waiting for you to stop talking so she can deliver her lines? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she was in the old school Birds of Prey. That's right. It's on Earth 1, the same Earth as Arrow and Flash. That was confirmed. Oh, really? Okay, thanks, Caleb. Oh, that's right. I remember now. I kind of blocked it out. So Joker is somewhere in this world. We know that. Uh, I guess now there is a Superman in this world too, even though supposedly they don't know anything about a Superman in Arrow's world, but I don't know. So, what can I say about this first episode? It's a mixed bag, but again, it's a first episode. It's a pilot. Pilots are always, you can't judge them on their own merit. You need to see a few episodes in to see how things are handled, because usually what ends up happening with a pilot is you start off something and you go, nope, that's not working. We're going to change that out. And by episode 2, and you also have a couple of weeks before the first episode is filmed and the second episode is filmed, because they hammer some shit out by looking at the daily, or they look at the reel and they go, that doesn't work. And they'll have it done actually months ahead of time, I should say. Oh, and Bruce Wayne's in it too. Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne is her cousin. Did I mention that? I just took a drink for that one. It's still ODDD that they name drop heroes and never show them. Exactly. Mofino, I agree with you. It did drive me to drink Viking Bitch. I was figuring out how in the hell I was going to get through this. And that's not beer, by the way. I'll tell you what this is. This is pumpkin cider. There you go. Pumpkin cider is what I'm drinking. So, yeah. I know she's related to Bruce. I couldn't believe it either. She's Bruce's cousin. And if you notice on the thumbnail that I use, since this is called Feelings in Hallways, I tried to find in every single episode a hallway scene from that episode of this week and throw it in there. And next week, we're going to have Arrow, the first episode of Arrow that comes on too. So for the final season. No, it's actually pretty good, Viking Bitch. It's not it's not as bad as it might sound. Yes, I do recommend pumpkin cider from Ace. Ace is a Northern California brewery. And yes, Feelings in Bathrooms. Hey, if you guys want, I can actually do this from the bathroom. It's not that big of a deal. The echo kind of sucks though. And the seat's not as comfortable as what I'm sitting on. I'm still not going to be wearing pants, but that's, besides the thing. Feelings on rooftops, feelings in dumbwaiters, feelings in parks, feelings in vans. No. So yeah, the judgment is out so far on Batwoman. And I like I said, Alice is the best thing in this, and I want more of Alice. I really do. And I want Alice to actually traverse the different Arrowverse shows, quite honestly, because she is a proper villain. As the English would say, a proper villain. And that's what she is. She is a proper villain. I'm not doing an English accent to say it because I will murder it. And yeah. So let's move on over to Supergirl. Yeah, we got Supergirl season 5. And in this one, we're dealing with the aftermath of well, there really is no aftermath. It's Kara's winning a Pulitzer Prize for her writing. Lena is pissed at her. We are dealing with the aftermath, I should say, of Lex's death. So a proper villain. What about Eobard Thawne? She actually kind of blows Eobard Thawne out of the water, and that's just her first episode, Mr. Roboto. Eobard Thawne isn't that great of a villain, to tell you the truth. He really isn't. I want him to be, but he's not. No, you haven't missed Flash Joker. I'm actually going through the episodes in order. So it was, excuse me, starting with Batwoman, Supergirl, then I'm doing Black Lightning, and then finally Flash, because Flash was the last one. So Supergirl, of course, Lena is pissed at Kara, Supergirl, because she found out that Lex told her with his dying breath that Kara is Supergirl, and gave her, she looked into it, found the video evidence, all that kind of stuff, and She's pissed because, again, another person is keeping secrets from her. And Kara, of course, is going through the whole thing. All summer long, she's been trying to tell Lena that she is Supergirl and she can't do it. And she's been telling Alex about this as well, that, she's having problems doing this. And, that's basically what it is. Good night to Mufinobi. So, yeah, she is that's the main story pretty much. The side story is that we have some little girl who is a shapeshifter, I guess, is stealing all kinds of crap. She ends up stealing Superman's pod from that he came from Krypton as a child. It's in a museum, like a Supergirl museum, and builds a Phantom Zone projector in a warehouse. And she releases somebody called Midnight, is what this was. Yeah, Supergirl was woke, if you will, and it the thing I liked about Supergirl was it actually went into the pulpy 70s comic stuff. I don't care about the politics. The politics were so watered down and light, I can ignore the politics. So we have, this little girl, she ends up releasing Midnight, and we find out, they defeat Midnight. Everyone gets together to defeat Midnight. Kara finally tells Lena that she's Supergirl, and originally Lena was going to, oh, by the way, Lena has sold off Catco Industries to another billionaire, and the whole thing was she was supposed to give her a really huge story, which was going to be Kara as Supergirl, and because Kara told her that she was Supergirl, she decides against it. Yeah. But she's still pissed at her. She's still pissed at her, and she's still going to destroy her. Yeah, that's the feelings and hallways portion of it. And then we find out the little girl, the shapeshifter, is actually John Jones' brother from Mars. And he's there to destroy John Jones. Why? I have no idea. Not the best of episodes, quite honestly. It other than Kara gets a new Supergirl outfit because she gets her cape tattered at one point, and Brainiac decides to make a new suit for her. Originally, it was supposed to be a new cape, but he made a new suit, and he did it so it's microscopic. It's on her glasses, so when she whips off her glasses, her suit forms fairly slowly over her entire body, and she has pants now too. So, why would Superman's actual alien pod be in a museum and not the fortress? Because he was being nice, Mr. Roboto, and it was part of the plot. This is Brainiac 5 from the future, from Legion of Superheroes from the 30th century. So I'm not going to be correcting. I'm not going to be filling in all this stuff. If you guys don't watch the show or haven't watched any of the series, there's Wikipedia. Go for it. Take a look at it. I'm just going to be talking about the episodes. So that's about as far as I'm going to go, Mr. Roboto, on that. So we end up having, of course, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be better than what it was, because that first episode was pretty damn. Ugh. That's all I can say. I mean, yeah, it was kind of getting their feet back into things, getting their feet back in the water. I did love the new fight scene music for all the shows. That was cool. Yeah, Caleb. The special effects have gotten a little bit better too, I have to admit. There was a scene with a Tyrannosaurus Rex in the museum that Kara ends up fighting, or Supergirl ends up fighting, which I thought was kind of funny because it's a throwback to an old Superman episode. Actually, it goes back to the 40s and the Fleischer Studios, excuse me, when they did those. And that was actually kind of cool. I like that. I like the design on Superman's ship. The new outfit, I'm not too sure about. Not George Reeves. This is animated, Joe Greer. This goes back to the animated 40s serials. If you have DC Universe, the serials are up there. And They're fairly one note, but they only play like for about 10 minutes, I believe is what it is, and they're pretty fairly nicely animated. Is what they are. So yeah, so Supergirl again, not something I can really recommend. Excuse me there, but yeah, uh, it was good. So then we have Black Lightning. Black Lightning, where we ended off, and I'm going to be truthful with you, I kind of dipped out at the end of last season. It was getting a little too not well, it was getting a little too political and a little too boring for me, to tell you the truth. I think I pretty much bowed out after Tobias got arrested, and we had the Markovians are supposedly invading, that kind of thing, and they're going after these green light kids. The green light kids have been released from their pods, the ones that were in there since the 80s, and now Bill Duke's company, that the government company that Lynn is working for now too, is trying to figure out. Basically, they're kind of in a stronghold, if you will, and I don't know what they're doing. They don't. No one else knows what they're doing either. Yeah, I forgot about Tobias as well. He's actually a really good actor, and then they just kind of sidelined him, and I'm like, yeah, he was in this for a very brief moment, and we see him in a cell where he has a collar on. So all these people that are sitting in these government cells now all have collars on to inhibit their powers. We see that they at the beginning, that we have various people coming in and they are talking to a computer, and they're supposed to be stating their names, um, how old they are, what powers they have, and when they use green light for the first time, or what happened to them to get their powers and what their power sets are. And Jefferson is in this as well, Jefferson Pierce, because he went in voluntarily, but he is being now experimented on and things like that. And not cool stuff that's going on. We also have all the kids, any kid that exhibits any kind of green light symptoms ends up getting held in a holding pen. Yeah, so you know where that's coming from. Yes, it's kind of mirroring what's happening right now. And Thunder goes in to go and take a look at this. Of course, she's not in her Thunder guise. She is as a doctor, and sees deplorable conditions when another metahuman breaks in who is supposedly working for the Markovians, and he's going to liberate the kids, most likely to put them under the Markovian rule. And they get stopped. He gets stopped by another meta who is, a soldier who actually trained him. So anyway, long story short, kind of boring in a way. Jefferson and Lynn are still trapped at the facility. Thunder ends up getting knocked outside of the dome that is covering Freeland at this point. And Jennifer, her power, she needs to blow off steam every now and then. Otherwise, it makes her sick. And Gamby, in the meantime, is basically just scouting around looking for shit. We don't know exactly what they're doing. And Black Lightning is going to actually connect during the crisis, is what's going to happen. And I like the characters. I like all the characters. It's the overtly political. It needs to come down just a bit. I understand. The showrunner is very politically motivated on stuff. He wants to get that message out there. Quite honestly, when I'm watching my CW shows, I want to have fun with them. I don't want a lot of heavy shit, to tell you the truth. If I want heavy shit, I'll go over to DC Universe and watch Doom Patrol again, because that is where I'm getting better quality stuff, because of course they're paying more money and it's showing in their episodes. CW is just supposed to be there and fun for the most part. So you prefer Feelings in Hallways? I like the Feelings in Hallways, to tell you the truth. I there's some stuff, there's some tropes in there I don't like when they have secrets that they keep from each other, and it's the whole, oh, I've got a secret, but I'm not going to tell anybody, but everyone knows it already, and I'm going to wait until the very last minute when it becomes a a hindrance to everybody, and then I'll tell everyone what my secret is. But then I'll promise I'll never do it again. But I have another secret that I'm gonna have, and I'm not gonna tell anybody yet. Wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. And the CW shows really need to stop that shit. It's the same thing like not revealing the identity of a villain, which worked well for Flash in season 1 with Eobard Thawne, but they were doing it too much. Where, oh, who's the villain this time? We don't know who the villain is, and that's what I liked about Batwoman is they told us who Alice was in the first episode. They got it out of the way, and I was like, great, okay, we don't need to go through 15 episodes of oh, now we find out that she's her sister. Oh, okay, now it all makes sense, but no one really cares. Well, yeah, Joker, it sounds like a Lifetime movie because these are all big soap operas. If you don't know this by now, comic books are soap operas for guys and girls. They really are. And they're serial. That's what they are. They're serial, just like soap operas. Yeah. So let's go over to the Flash. The Flash was the one bright spot out of this entire week. And why was that? Yes, they were dealing with the aftermath of losing Nora, and having a new thing that was happening. So you're basically having a black hole that kept opening up, and everyone's trying to figure out where the hell why this black hole keeps opening up in certain points in time. And we find this kid who is a YouTuber who is a scientist as well, kind of an amateur scientist, and he built his own black hole generator, if you want, for a better lack of term, in his garage with parts that he got from a junkyard. And he ended up going catatonic. The black hole happens to be the other part of his mind, and they need to, of course, stop this. So instead of imploding the black hole, they actually get because they need, of course, to marry that black hole, that part of his mind, with his actual body because he's catatonic. And they come up with an idea. And as Flash is running towards the black hole with a device that is actually going to meld the two halves of his mind, Cisco is inside, Star Labs, and he hits the button and starts up the Flash from the Flash Gordon movie from the 80s. The Queen song Flash, dun, 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 and it's one of the most fucking awesome things you'll ever see on one of these shows. And he says, I was saving it for just a moment like this. And Iris just kind of looks at him and goes, come on, you got to admit, it was the most perfect thing, right? Because he is saving the universe. And she goes, all right, yeah, you're right. And they play the entire fucking song, which was awesome. If there's one episode you're going to watch out of this week, that's the episode to watch. It's a lot of fun. Not only that, you're also having a little bit more about Killer Frost, who is inside, basically whether or not she has her own life, if she deserves her own life outside of, now I'm just blanking on her name all of a sudden, and I have to look her up because, that's just the way shit works sometimes. That's what happens when your brain is overfried from a week of work. Caitlin, there we go. Oh, wow. Yeah, my brain is gone. So Caitlin has Killer Frost inside of her, of course, and Killer Frost is afraid of coming out and having her own life. And that was the B plot, the B roll, if you will. And that was kind of an interesting story, to tell you the truth. They really did a good, a good play on that one. And it wasn't annoying. It could have been really annoying, but it was just enough of a B plot where you didn't have to dwell on it, quite honestly. And they resolved it too. Not only that, you get Ralph, who met someone named Sue. And for those of you who don't know, Sue is someone he ends up marrying. It becomes Sue Digby. Digby? I can never pronounce his last name. But anyway, that's his future wife. That is Ralph's future wife, by the way. The case that he was working on. Dibney. Thank you. I can never pronounce it, Caleb. Yeah. Yeah, I also loved it, Caleb, when they played Back in Time as well for the time travel episode. That was, that's one of my favorite Huey Lewis and the News songs, by the way. Everyone says Power of Love from Back to the Future, but no, Back in Time is actually the song. Not really. Are you talking about this episode of The Flash? No, it didn't end in tragedy. I mean, you do have Caitlin's friend who has a rare cancer, whose mom died of this cancer, and he ends up getting, Ralph, yeah. Well, we don't know where they're going to go with that, to tell you the truth, Joe. Yes, in the comics, they did kill her off, but that was for something else. That was for Justice League. And that's a fucked up arc in Justice League, to tell you the truth. It has to do with mind wipe of a lot of people. And it's one of the shittier things that Batman has ever done in the comics, to tell you the truth. And yeah, I don't think they're going to go there with this. This is more family friendly. They might kill her off, but And I think it's cool too that Ralph's arc this season is finding a missing woman who's his potential future wife. Yeah. Yeah, they also killed off Ralph too, but at some point in time, but it was later on. What does Batman do? They take Dr. Light and they force him, they wipe his mind completely. They also wipe the minds of a whole bunch of Justice Leaguers as well, so that no one knows about the depths of everything that they do, because there's a lot of people that are against having Dr. Light's mind wiped in the comics. And Batman's like, fuck this, we're going to do this, whether you like it or not. And they're like, well, we can't, I can't deal with the consequences, so you might as well wipe that shit from my mind too. Yeah, it is a secret identity thing. He knows a whole bunch of everyone's secret identities, and it's a long story. But it's one of the shittier things that Batman has done. And it's one of those things that a lot of people, they don't really discuss it too often as being one of the better Justice League stories. It's just a really fucked up Justice League story. So anyway, back to the Flash. Yeah, I like this episode. It was fun. We get a new possible villain out of this, because her friend, like I said, Caitlin's friend, injects himself with dark matter to cure himself of this cancer, and he starts curing himself of the cancer. But of course, he gets some kind of superpowers, and of course, he's going to become a supervillain at this point too. I never know why the Justice League never calls him out on his shit. They do all the time, Caleb. But the thing is, Batman's like, aha, I knew you were going to call me out on that shit, and this is what I got in response to it. Because Batman is prepared for everything. And yes, Batman is a dick. And that's what I liked about Justice League, the latest Young Justice Outsiders, is that Jefferson Pierce called him on his shit and said, you know what? It's Batman Incorporated is what he says. And that's the reason why everyone's lying to everyone else, is because of Batman Incorporated. He goes, and you're the reason why, is what he tells Batman. And Bruce has nothing to say about that. Bruce cannot say, yeah. He can't say, no, you're wrong. He's like, yeah, you're right. And he's not apologetic about it. Yeah, what about the greater good? Well, that's his whole thing, is he says the greater good. And of course, the whole thing with Superman is, well, where's the limit of what you're doing for the greater good? Where do you draw the line at that point? And Batman's line keeps getting further and further away sometimes. Depends on who's writing him. Sometimes his line is firm and stays there. Other writers who want to, shall we say, experiment, with things, really move that line around, and then they have to reboot the universe again. I think they're rebooting the universe again, from what I understand, that there's going to be a new Batman. It's not Bruce Wayne anymore. There's going to be a new Superman, a new Wonder Woman, a new Flash, all of that. They're all not going they're, as they say, it's not your grandfather's Justice League anymore. That's what they're saying. That's what I just heard or I read yesterday, something like that. Caleb says, this is why I prefer Superman. At the end of the day, Batman is not a good person. He may be a hero, but not a hero's archetype. Well, it depends again, Caleb, on who's writing him. Like I said, there's some people who like to play with the way Batman his morality, if you will. And then there's other people that go, no, he's got a very set morality. He will not cross this line. And those are the people I like writing Batman a lot more, who have that set line that Batman will not cross. Sometimes it's fun to do an Elseworlds where you see Batman taking liberties with things, but yeah, he's human. And he could be an asshole. But I want to see that in Elseworlds. I don't want to see that as one of the main storylines. No, Mr. Roboto, it's the CW treatment. So there was a little show back in the 90s called Dawson's Creek, and that's what the CW has been built on ever since. It is all Dawson's Creek. And that's what runs a lot of the CW stuff. Yeah. So, excuse me, a little gnat flying around here. So to it's gonna look great on video, isn't it? Yeah, Dawson's was memorable. That's a piece of shit. But I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of fond memories of it. I don't. So anyway, to reiterate, Batwoman, great villain, bad actor for the lead. Supergirl, I don't know where the hell they're going with it. I hope it picks up. Oh, and at the end of Flash, by the way, too, we had the Anti-Monitor show up and basically says the Flash must die for billions to live. That's how they end the episode. And I was like, wow, all right. That's actually pretty good. Excuse me. So we know where the season is heading. We have the season heading towards, the Flash has to die. Yeah. And so going back, Batwoman, a great villain, horrible hero, or horrible actor for the hero. For Supergirl, don't know where the hell it's going. Hopefully, it's gonna end up someplace. Black Lightning, tone down the politics just a wee bit, man. Just turn the volume down from 11 to 9. That's all I need. And then Flash was just plain fun, the way the Flash is supposed to be. It actually reminded me of season 1 Flash, to tell you the truth. It kind of went back to that. And that's what I want to see. I want to see season 1 Flash. Yeah. Yes, Arrow is supposed to be the one that offers himself up. I don't know what's going on. We'll find out in Crisis, but supposedly Barry Allen, spoiler alert, isn't going to make it. Yeah. Yeah, his daughter was erased, Joe Greer. At least in that future was erased. So, yes, I believe that, Caleb, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. I believe Kid Flash is supposed to be taking over the show for a bit. Yeah. Which is going to be horrible because I really don't like the guy who's playing Kid Flash. I really don't. And to have him carry the show is going to be horrible. Yeah. So, there you have it. That's the first Feelings in Hallways. Hope you all enjoyed that one. Uh, yeah, we're gonna get Legends of Tomorrow. It's gonna come back, and I believe Rip will come back at some point in time. Joe Greer, they'll just offer him a little bit more money, and he'll come back. Who knows? He might come back for Crisis. I heard he may be recast, given the original actor cut ties with the CW. No, he's coming back, from what I heard. Caleb. Yeah, he's coming back. So. Yeah. So if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on again next, you can hit the bell down below as well. And take a look at my webpage, suspendedfanimation.com. I've got my schedule up there. I also have it up on my Facebook page as well. Excuse me. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a Patreon page, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. And tomorrow is going to be Titans season 2. It's going to be the Connor episode. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and talk about it and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about. Sunday is the very, very awesome Mr. Robot. And of course, we're coming back around again. Monday, I'm off. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I believe I'm going to be doing Primal for that one, which is a Adult Swim show. Yeah. There we go. Oh, and if you're still on the fence about joining up, by the way, you're going to see a video pop up here. The video is going to be all the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching. YouTube is going to take a look at those algorithms and match as closely as possible one of the videos in my vast video library and pop it straight up there just for you. Up here is going to be my last video, which was Is It Worth My Time? Raising Dion. That's what that's going to be up there. So hopefully you all enjoyed this overview of DC CW shows. And we'll see how it goes next week, because Arrow gets brought back into the mix. Yeah. There we go. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat, except for those two that pieced out, Moo Finopi and Viking Bitch, Well, she's in a snowstorm, so I can forgive her, but Moo Finopi, come on. Dude, he could have stayed up a little bit longer. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you again tomorrow for Titans. Until then, Penn, there was no other way I was going to be able to do it. I was going to be able to do all the shows individually. And quite honestly, there isn't, I don't think there's enough interest in the shows individually to do them. It's easier just to kind of group them together and do it that way. And it fits into a hole that I had in my schedule anyway. So it all works out for the better. Thanks, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Titans. And as I always say here, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may get a visit from the Anti-Monitor, who might have some bad news for you. And quite honestly, you really don't want that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.